do we really only care about ourselves?
Yes, do we care only about ourselves? You know, and the story that you're about to see in this video, it's not a very long one, but it's true. And it happened back in the same era that John F. Kennedy was actually assassinated by our own government, okay? By the bankers, okay? But we won't go into that story right now because that's not what this is about. But do we only really care about ourselves? Hell yeah. That's how bad this world's gotten. That's how twisted people have gotten in their heads. That they're all about number one. That's right, all about number one. Themselves. But see, you're just like the bankers. That's right. You're just like the Rothschilds and Rockefellers. See, they're all about themselves too. The difference between you and them is they stole all of the wealth. And they tell the governments what to do. And the governments are on their knees listening to them because they control the monetary systems. Through their thievery. And that's right, through their thievery, of course. Okay. And in the story that you're going to see in this, I'm going to show you in a minute, you're going to see where a gal was being attacked and stabbed and killed, and 30-something people, whatever, saw it, witnessed it. Not one person lifted a finger to help. Not one person lifted a finger to even call 911 or the police or anything. They just left it alone. Watched it happen. Didn't care. Went on with their day, went on with their life, that's right. Because they're only caring about themselves. Okay, you're also going to see a scene about nursing homes. Unless your parents have lots of money and they're in a nursing home, then the child most generally will come and see their parents. When their parents are loaded with money. But if their parents ain't loaded with money and their parents was the average Tom Joe that's just struggling to make ends meet and stuck in a nursing home, the children just forget they even exist. It's sad, but it's true. And I know it's true, okay? And, you know, that's why I tell people when I go about looks, why don't you walk into one of them nursing homes? Oh, that's right, because you're about yourselves. Isn't that right? See, it gets disgusting. People got to be all about themselves. See, I'm a long way from being about myself. Maybe that's why I piss you off, okay? Because I come out here, it's about 3 years ago with the TFL. That's right. And I generally care about everybody, I really do. And I try to speak out to fight for everybody. I try to get people to wake up and see how they're treating one another. But you only care about yourselves, right? Don't care how you treat about somebody else, isn't that right? So what if you treat somebody else like a piece of shit? But then you don't want to be treated like a piece of shit yourself. What makes you think? What the hell makes you think you can treat somebody else like a piece of shit, and that somebody else can't treat you back the way you're treating them? What the hell even gives you the right to be mad at somebody for treating you the way you're treating somebody else? Nothing. Because see, your shit stinks too. You bleed like the rest of us, and you put your pants on the same way the rest of us do. You're no better than anybody else. Nobody is any better than anybody else. When you believe you're better than somebody else, in reality, you're now lower than somebody else. You are the turd that fell out of the toilet. Okay, that's what you are when you believe this. It's just like with the bankers. See, they believe they're better because they have money that they stole. Okay, that's right. They believe they're better because they stole their way to where they're at. Because they're the world's biggest thieves. And they're also the world's biggest serial killers. They have killed more people than any serial killer ever born on this planet. And they're still alive to continue to kill because you people sit back and don't care, a lot like in the story I'm going to show you. You sit back and you don't give a shit. Until it's happening to you. Then when they're coming after you or your life's on the line, then you suddenly care and you suddenly think everybody should care and the people should stand up. But no. No, it don't work that way, you fools. See, you got to be willing to stand up and do the right thing from the get-go. You can't just expect it's okay for you to dump on others, not give a shit about others, and then when it comes on to you, everybody's supposed to suddenly care about you. Fuck you. Nobody needs to care about you. If you ain't got brains enough to care about somebody else, then why the fuck should anybody care about you? Do you see what I'm saying? See, the selfishness needs to stop, people. You need to start thinking about more than your lazy old ass. That's what's wrong with this fucked up world right now. People are so freaking selfish and dumbed down it's not even funny. And so the bankers sit here and get by with what they're getting by with. Your government portrays 9/11 on you, gives you a Patriot Act that turns you into a terrorist, and you sit back and just let it happen, don't you? You're getting ready to crash the market, take your dollar out from underneath you. You sit back and just let it happen. In December, they're going to they're going to say Obama's going to sign a treaty that is going to take all of your constitutional rights away from you. That's right. And it's going to give all the wealth of the United States to third world nations. But what are you going to do? Oh, that's right. You're going to do what you always do. You're going to sit back and do nothing about it because you're selfish. You're all about yourself. But don't worry. The people that are getting ready to do this to you, they're just like you. They're selfish and they're all about themselves too. So you should enjoy this, okay? I know you're going to say it's not going to happen. And I'm going to laugh at you because even when you say, I'm going to laugh when December comes and goes, and I'm going to laugh when the market crashes and your dollar's gone and you realize that as you're mad and you're trying to speak out that you're in trouble with the law and you have foreign troops on your streets and you find out you're in trouble and you find out you ain't got no rights because back in blah, blah, blah month they signed a treaty and then I'm going to be the one laughing at you for being that stupid, for being that ignorant. Because, see, it's your own ignorance that's leading to the fall of the United States. It's your own dumbness. It's your own ability to sit back and do nothing. At least I am trying to do something, which is more than you people are trying. Me and the patriots like myself, the people out here that are trying to do something. See, we're the ones responsible for at least trying something, which is more than you trolls and you other sheeple you just could ever say for yourselves. Because you can't say that for yourselves because you're the reason the United States is going to fall. Your own ignorance. Watch this clip I'm going to show you. Look in the mirror. Is this you? Is this how selfish you are? Leave your comments. To the next video, you have a good one.
Piercing screams would wake a neighborhood, stun a nation, and eventually get authors Levitt and Dubner to wonder, do we really only care about ourselves? It was Queens, New York, 1964. 28-year-old Kitty Genovese was walking toward her apartment, unaware a stranger, Winston Mosley, was following her.
He then took a knife out of his pocket and he ran toward her.
Joe DeMay is a Queens, New York historian.
He stabbed her in the back 2 to 4 times with a hunting knife. Kitty Genovese screamed bloody murder.
The crime would soon become infamous, not simply because of the horrifying things done to Kitty Genovese, but because of what neighbors didn't do. The New York Times reported, for more than half an hour, 38 respectable, law-abiding citizens in Queens watched a killer stalk and stab a woman in 3 separate attacks. Not one person telephoned the police during the assault. The idea that no one would call for help, that no one from this apartment building would call police, shocked an entire nation. It was the mid-60s. Crime was on the rise. President Kennedy had been assassinated. And now people were asking, do we not care about anyone but ourselves?
The Kitty Genovese crime, murder, became the symbol of all that was going wrong with the world, of how incredibly, cruelly selfish human beings can be.
The crime got social scientists wondering, if we ignore our own neighbors in need, how about those closest to us, like dear old mom and dad? What they found at retirement homes surprised them.
If you are a parent in a nursing home, the best predictor that your child will show up is if you, the parent, are quite rich. Children of rich parents are much more likely to show up in nursing homes than are children of poor parents.
But even that wasn't a guarantee.
If you didn't have to compete against your brothers and sisters to kind of get the bequest, you didn't show up at the nursing home.
It sounds so depressing, though, to think that that's what drives us.